guys know by now that I adore Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. These are two of my favorite games of all time. I've said that multiple times. You guys get the point. And this game really changed Mario for in a really amazing way. And it's definitely great for being the third and fourth 3D Mario games. However, during that generation, Nintendo also released new 2D Mario games, and they rebooted the 2D Mario side with the Super Mario Bros. On the DS. So New Super Mario Bros. Released in 2006, so 4 years after Sunshine, and 1 year before Super Mario Galaxy. So between the next two, Sunshine and Galaxy, Nintendo was ready for a new original 2D Mario, considering that there wasn't one in so long. And this game is really amazing. I personally consider it to be a masterpiece overall, one of my favorite games on the DS. And this was also one of, if not the first video game that I ever played in my entire life. But 3 years later, New Super Mario Bros. Wii was born. This game was absolutely a revolution, as it was the first 2D Mario on a home console in a very long time, in almost 20 years. And this game truly brought a lot to this series. Well, was the same gameplay, of course, and the Super Mario Bros. They brought many new, including new power-ups, new gimmicks, new bosses. They brought back the Koopalings. This game had so much. It even had multiplayer. And this game released just 6 months before Super Mario Galaxy 2. However, before Nintendo made their next two original 2D Mario, and their next original 3D Marios, let's talk about something. What if they combined both 2D Mario and 3D Mario? Well, that is what Super Mario 3D Land showed us. This was one of the first games I ever played on the 3DS, and one of the games I spent the most time in. And, in fact, alongside Galaxy, this is the only 3D Mario game that I have 100%, yes. But where the development all began, or not development, where was this game first announced? The game was announced at E3 2010 or 2011, and this game overall looked really amazing. And back when I first heard about this game, close to its release, back when I was 5 or 6, I was absolutely excited. This game looked really amazing. I mean, while it wasn't like the other 3D Mario games, it brought back the 2D Mario that I grew up playing. So of course I was gonna get excited, and for sure I was. So the game finally released on not E3. So the game finally released on November 13th, 2011. Now this is a game that I didn't buy at launch. I bought this a couple months later. Because, well, I didn't have a 3DS yet when this game was first released. I got it a month later for Christmas, I think. So, and I can't remember what game I got first, but it was something. But about a month, 2, 3 months, 4 months later, I had a handful of games. But then, when I heard about this game, I was absolutely excited. I mean, I had played Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario Bros. The Last Level, Super Mario World, Galaxy, Galaxy 2, Super Mario Bros., Wii, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario 64, and so on and so forth. And those were games I was obsessed with as a kid. And I begged my dad for a very long time to get this game, but because he was broke, I just couldn't get it yet, and I was really feeling sad. But then, several months later, when all I had to do was obey for a doctor's appointment or whatever, I finally got it. I remember going to GameStop one day, finally being excited. I took home a used copy. I instantly took it home, played it, and I absolutely loved it. And I beat it multiple times in the same year because how good it is. And just like the other videos in this series of videos, this video contains spoilers for this game. So if you haven't played this yet, go grab your 3DS or go emulate it on Citra and go play it right now. And see you guys when you get back. But without further ado, let's go on with the video. So the game begins with the Mushroom Kingdom get under a big storm, and he's like things like released everywhere basically. So yeah, but it's the return of the Tanuki leaf. Yep. You remember that item from Super Mario Bros. 3? Well, it's back in this game, and Nintendo really highlighted it in this game, and for good reasons, for sure. And it's like one of the most useful powers in the game. Well, actually, the most useful. So Mario gets a letter, and Peach is, of course, kidnapped by Bowser. So, yeah. And any of those pictures on each world. And the thing is that you even get you even get to save them to your 3DS. In fact, I remember the kid I would constantly take I would constantly save those pictures to my 3DS camera app. And now, but now let's talk about the levels. As this game, it's set, and this game is very linear. As you're going to be going through levels, this game plays just like the 2D Mario games, but in a 3D perspective. So you get the 3D perspective they've got from 64, Sunshine Galaxy, Galaxy 2, but you get the gameplay from 2D Mario. Overall, this game is really amazing. And when you get to the first level, you definitely see that you're in for a treat. And sometimes turning on the 3D will even make the game look better. I personally never use the 3D much, but it's, I guess, a cool addition. And each level has like 9 or 10 worlds, and you follow them in a straight path from left to right, basically. The worlds, of course, have different themes, just like 2D Mario. There is, of course, the Grass Lake world or whatever. Actually, the levels don't exactly like have a theme, but they have like a lot of different themes to them. Each level has a lot of variety. Like there's some grass levels, some snow levels, and some desert levels. Each of them are really fun to play through, and they even have a lot to it. And I really like how they have like brand new enemies, and which is honestly really, really nice seeing them there. And yeah, and this game has 16 different worlds. Yes, 16. That is a lot, basically. Yeah. Now, once you beat the game, you get 8 new worlds, and yeah. Now, at the end of each world, you will fight off against on an airship level, fighting off Boom Boom, or Pom Pom, or both, or Bowser. Yes, and yeah. Now, let's talk about the post game. Now, after you take down all 8 worlds and you witness the ending, then you even get 8 more. As yeah. Now, and you can go through 2 castle levels at the end. Which is also really amazing. And of course, when Bowser's defeated, Peach gets rescued and everything is there. Peach gets rescued, everything's back to normal, and they fly away on Mario's Sneaky Suits, of course. And that is Super Mario 3D Land. Actually, we're not done yet. Because all of a sudden, Luigi gets kidnapped. Yes, Luigi gets kidnapped in this game, of course. Luigi gets kidnapped after you defeat Bowser. So you get to go off and save him, which, yes, and you even get to switch between Mario, or Luigi at any time after you beat the first special world, of course, yeah. Which I honestly really love, as playing Luigi is also pretty fun too, but now let's actually talk about the gameplay mechanics a little bit more. So yeah, this game's very different, as you basically get to it plays just like a 2D Mario, and you collect star coins just like you would in the Super Mario Bros. Games. And you also, one of the requirements for percenting is you have to get golden flagpoles at the end of each level, which is honestly, it does take a long time to 100% this game though. But yeah, and you'll 100% the game too. You also have to beat each level with both Mario and Luigi, which takes a lot of work, but I eventually did this. I actually 100% this game before multiple times. And this game overall definitely has a lot, and what was I say next? Oh yeah, and what I like especially about this game is that it was definitely something big and new. While it is different from the other 3D Mario games, I'm personally okay with that because it's because it's because it was definitely a perfect thing that Nintendo showed us. What if they combined both 2D and 3D Mario, which I really liked. They tried something new with this game, which is really, really amazing. In fact, while this is my least favorite 3D Mario, I definitely really like it a lot, and for good reasons. And what I like too is the way the levels play out. The levels each have like their own different themes, which I really like, and the worlds specifically like don't have their own themes. Even though I accidentally said that I think like earlier in this video, but the worlds don't have their own themes, but they have like a mix of levels. That's really amazing. And like too is how much variety the levels have. This game has a ton of variety, and the music here is pretty good. It's not the best soundtrack in a Mario game, but it's definitely really nice. That's actually all I want to say for Super Mario 3D Land. I know this was, I guess, kind of short. It was hard for me to think of something, because this game has a lot more levels than the other 3D Marios. So it's because how different this is. But now let's get on to 3D World now. Super Mario 3D Land was a great game. It brought back everything we loved about 2D Mario, but combined it with a 3D perspective. And it was really new, but in a pretty good way. And I played this game multiple times. It's definitely really great. I love this game a lot, and it's one of my favorite games on the 3DS. And this game released during a time when Nintendo released a lot of 2D Mario games and 3D ones too. But the 3D ones were also they released 2 3D Mario games that were heavily inspired by the 2D ones. And one of those games I just talked about with Mario 3D Land. But we're not done yet because... So, 2 years later, Super Mario 3D World got announced at E3 2013, and this game looked really amazing. This game looked a lot like Super Mario 3D World, I mean 3D Land, except for this time it was on the Wii U, a home console, and this time it's in HD. When this game was first announced, I had a lot of high expectations for this game. This game was looking really amazing. It had HD graphics, and it looked like 3D Land, but better. And this game even had multiple playable characters. This game truly had a lot of potential, and it definitely did. And it definitely, I'm sure, was when the game finally released. Back then, this is a game. This was a game that was very, 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 very hyped for back then. Although I didn't own a Wii U at the time until like 2 years later, I decided that as soon as I would get one, that I would get this game, which I did. And then, the game finally released on November 22nd, 2013, worldwide on the Nintendo Wii U. And this was a time when I was just upset, I guess, to say the least, because because you guys know that I'm obsessed with Mario, right? Well, back then, I couldn't play this game because I didn't own a Wii U, so I was kind of really feeling left out that I couldn't play this. But at least at the time, I still had a 3DS so I could play the handheld side. But 2 years later, when I finally had my money saved up, I bought a Wii U from GameStop. During I think it was during some kind of like sale. Can't remember. But I bought a Wii U finally, and the first game I bought was this game. I had still played it, and didn't finish it. But a couple months later, I went back, finished it, and I played through this game again on the Switch, back in February. And yeah, this game overall is a really great game. Now, but I'm not ready to talk about it, but this game, now as always, this video does contain full spoilers for this game, and for Bowser's Fury. So if you don't want to get spoiled, please click away, and go play this on the Switch right now. I don't recommend playing it on the Wii U now because the Switch version is much faster, it has more features, and it has the Bowser's Fury thing that I'm going to talk about in just a second. Without further ado, let's go. Alright, so the game begins, of course, with the title screen. And let's go by this game, is that this game has 4-person multiplayer. Yes, we'll get to that later. Alright, so the game begins with a fireworks show going on at nighttime in the Mushroom Kingdom. And as you can see, the graphics of this game are really amazing, as this is the first HD 3D Mario game. You can see Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, and you can see a clear pipe. This is something that's never been done before, and Mario and Luigi are actually becoming plumbers. Yes. But once you can see that a bunch of power-ups fall out. You can even see these bells, yes. That's pretty new, and some fairy, yes. That's probably kidnapped by Bowser, apparently. Yes, this time Bowser isn't kidnapping Peach, and fun fact, the developers originally weren't going to make Peach playable, but ended up making it anyway, which was definitely fitting to make it like a 4-player game. So yeah, and then Bowser kidnaps the fairies, and Mario and Luigi follow, and Peach and Toad follow him into what is the Sprixie Kingdom. And the plot here is about to unfold, creating in... Why do you think it's a really amazing story? Why do you prefer the story in Galaxy, Sunshine, Odyssey? I think this is overall a pretty good setup for a story in a 3D Mario game. And you can see now a world map. This is definitely pretty new. Well, of course, the world map is not new, but now the world map can be traveled in fully 3D, just like unlike in 3D Land where it was like a 2D map, basically. And once entered, you can choose your characters, and yeah. And this game plays a lot like 3D Land, so it now has new power-ups, like the double cherry, which lets you duplicate yourself, the cat bell, or a super bell that turns you into a cat, letting you scratch and climb walls. And it's definitely a big gimmick of this game, is the cat suit power-up. And like I said, this game's a lot of fun. It has 4-person multiplayer. And this game even, and instead of clicking star coins, now clicking green stars and stamps. It's like various stamps, which is really amazing. And yeah. And what's new here is of course not only the HD graphics, but also the fact that the output gets each of the 4 characters, you can switch between them at any time, and you now get to have each their own ability. As Mario doesn't have like an exclusive feature, he's all balanced, just like in Super Mario Bros. 2 USA, aka Doki Panic. And the characters reuse abilities from that. And Peach has his high jumps again. Peach can hover, just like in Super Mario Bros. 2, aka Doki Panic. And Toad, just like in that game, he can run really fast. So yeah, each characters have their own gimmick, which is what's really amazing. And each level has a bunch of different worlds. And just like in Super Mario 3D Land, in order to 100% the game, you have to get to the golden flagpole. Now let's talk about... Now there are some levels too where you also get to ride a dinosaur known as Plessy. These levels are really, really fun. I really love like riding on Plessy and getting to... This game adds so much fun. That's where this game really shines at fun. Well, not my favorite 3D Mario. This game is still really amazing, and collecting red coins too to get power up, just like in the 2D Mario games. Even I'm pretty sure 3D Land had that feature as well. So yeah, the Plessy levels are really good. Alright, so just like Super Mario 3D Land, after each world, well, at the end of each world, there's gonna be levels with either a Bowser Castle or an airship level. And the first one you'll meet is really cool, as they're gonna be like kicking these soccer ball bombs, and you're even gonna be kicking that Bowser inside of when he's in a car. That is something brand new and never been seen before. And yeah, I really like that. Now, speaking of new things, there's also something else that this game introduced, and that's Captain Toad levels. And these are levels where you play as Captain Toad, and and you move things around throughout the level, and it's basically puzzle. It basically plays like a puzzle game with like collect a bunch of green stars, and the Switch version they added to where you can play as several different Toads, and they have multiplayer on the Captain Toad level. It's really nice, and it's also inspired what would become, actually, this game also inspired Toad's own game, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, which is a prequel of this game and of Super Mario Odyssey. And even reuses graphics from that. And yeah. So remember how I said that Super Mario 3 Land has as castles and/or airships at the end of each level? Well, at the end of each world, at least. Well, this time the airships are replaced with trains. Yeah, so you're going to be going around different trains, going through all the different cars and fighting different enemies there, and exploring new power-ups. These are overall really fun. But we did get to fight Boom Boom and Pom Pom, along with other characters too. And I personally really like this idea. Too is that you're going to be finding a bunch of different enemies as bosses that weren't in 3D Land, or like basically brand new to this game. And this game is not set in the Mushroom Kingdom, it's set in the Sprixie Kingdom. And this is also a fun fact, the third 3D Mario game to not be set in the Mushroom Kingdom, since Sunshine was set in Isle Delfino, and actually it's the fourth, because Galaxy 1 and 2 are both set in space. And I really like the Sprixie Kingdom. It's really amazing. And all these bosses too are really cool and have so much stuff with them. Now let's talk about. Alright, now after you do all that stuff, and you go through all the different worlds, including World 1, the Grassland, World 2, the Desert Place, whatever World 3 is, World 4, World 5, World 6, which is the cloudy place, World 7, which is the very fiery place, the Bowser world. And yeah, as each world has its like own themes. And you'll be going through basically what looks like some carnival place. So I'm gonna be fighting Bowser as a cat. Yes, the cat gimmick is heavily utilized here, as you're gonna be doing a lot of things that have like cats in it, and overall. This boss battle is definitely epic, seeing Bowser with a cat. And although this level was hard for me back when back during my first playthrough back on the Wii U, long before the Switch existed. Well, maybe not long before, but like back in 2015 and 16. And overall, this definitely really fun level. And even though it was hard for me for some reason back during my first playthrough, that was much easier when I played it on Switch earlier this year. When you get the POW block and you free the Sprixies, then Bowser loses control of the Sprixies, and the Sprixies are back, and they return back to the Mushroom Kingdom, and that, everybody, is Super Mario 3D World. But we're not done yet. Now, guys, look at the post game. Remember I saw the 3D Land had 8 different worlds after the main 8? Well, this time it's down to 4, but that's totally fine. But at least this has something cool, because after you get to the rocket ship to go to World Star, you can see some galaxy references. As you're going up to the same world that you were in Super Mario Galaxy, and this time you'll even see the Lumas and the Comet Observatory, which is really amazing. And this game has some galaxy references. You know me, I love those since I'm such a big Galaxy fan. So yes, a new world appears. You can see it like a big world that looks like something from Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. And after you beat the first 2 levels of World Star, then you get to play Rosalina. And Rosalina has a special ability where she can do a spin jump whenever she doesn't have a power-up. And that is honestly really amazing, as Rosalina is probably one of the most useful characters in the entire game. And now, let's talk about Now, after they beat World Star, you get you get 2 more worlds. You get World Flower and World Mushroom. But with the order is World Mushroom, then World Flower. Overall, there's some nice worlds, even though the levels are hard. And I still need to 100% this game as I'm at World Flower. But once you get everything done, when I say that, I mean everything. Once you beat all the levels, once you get all the green stars, once you get all the stamps, once you get the golden checkpoint, then, and sorry for them, but then you get World Crown. Now this is a world you get after 100% everything. We get the last mystery house, you get the last Captain Toad level, and you get the hardest level of the game. And this is one I've never beaten alone before. I've beat it with others, including online before. But this level has always been really, really, really hard. This is one of the hardest Mario levels ever, as it requires a lot of slippery things, and you're basically going to be going through a big, long thing. We're basically going through a long linear path, just like with that secret level you got for 100%ing everything in 3D Land. And it's basically like the perfect run from Galaxy 2. So yeah, if you're familiar with those levels, you're going to be familiar with this one. And yeah, I personally really I like this idea, even though it's so freaking hard. And yeah, and this trend basically continued again in future 3D Mario games, including Odyssey. We'll get to that one probably in June. And overall, this is definitely an epic level. It has some really good Galaxy references, but boy, is it hard. But that's all I want to say about 3D Land and World. Also, sorry I didn't talk about as much because, well, this game has a lot more levels than 3D on Land and World, since it is different from the previous 3D Mario games, where I got to go more in depth about the levels. Because there are basically a lot of levels in this game, it's so hard to go through all of them. But we're not done yet with 3D World, because now we're going to go through a side story and side mode that they added in on the Switch version that released in February 2021, known as Bowser's Fury. Let's get into it. Alright, so this mode starts off with an old cloudy day, but then you see Mario going through some black paint. And once you see it, you can probably tell that it's Super Mario Sunshine references. Because yes, just like we just talked about Galaxy references, well, Bowser's Fury has some Sunshine references. Which is definitely good for Gamer27, because he is obsessed with Sunshine. And go subscribe to him, by the way. He's a cool friend of mine. He has some great content. But all jokes aside, and all YouTuber jokes aside, overall, let's start off with Mario falling down from that goopy ink, and he falls down into a giant storm, and yes. And so it starts off being really, really epic. And this game is heavily inspired with this side mode. This is heavily inspired by Super Mario Odyssey. Now, we're not going to talk about that one because I'm going to be making a video on that one next in this series, probably in June or July. So stay tuned for that. Probably not May because I'm going to be taking a break for half the month. But all that aside, though, but I'm recording this at the end of April, so yeah. But all that aside, though, so it starts off with you, getting a catch line from a gigantic, like Godzilla-sized Bowser. So yeah, really epic. And once you restore the tower from the cat, like as you're collecting cat shines, they're basically similar to the Power Moons from Super Mario Odyssey. But I'm not gonna talk too much about that game because I'm gonna do that next. But yeah, and this game is open world. This is open world. And this basically like what if you combine Super Mario 3D World and Super Mario Odyssey. As you get the gameplay from 3D World plus the open world stuff from Odyssey, and you're going through and you're going to be going through a bunch of different islands, collecting cat shines, restoring different towers. Even cool is that You even get to recruit Bowser Jr., yes. Although he's a villain character trying to help stop his dad from being all furious. It wants to end his fury. And he has a paintbrush just like in Super Mario Sunshine. Which I did make a video on back in February, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. But on the side though, yeah, this overall is definitely a pretty fun mode. I really like going around the different islands and doing different things and doing different missions to get them. And Bowser's Fury, Bowser's gonna constantly appear, but you get to become all Godzilla-like too, becoming Giga Mario with the Giga Bell. This is absolutely mind-blowing, and having 2 gigantic kaiju battles. It's just absolutely stunning seeing this. Bowser's Fury is absolutely fun. If you don't have 3 World Plus Bowser's Fury yet, definitely go get it. And yeah. And after you get at least 50 cat shines, then you beat the game, and yeah. But you also get to go back for 100%, and you even get to become all Super Saiyan Mario, infinitely once you get 100 cat shines, which is all of them. But that's all I want to say though about these 2 games. I will see you guys next time. Agent S out. Alright, so that's everything I want to say for 3D Land, 3D World, and Bowser's Fury. But we aren't done with the series yet, because come back in June for the finale. Well, with the finale until the next 3D Mario, but come back for Super Mario Odyssey. Alright, see you guys next time. Agent S out.